The next questioner is a British lady called Agnes. I'm afraid I can't read the surname.
Please.
Sorry, what?
Surname?
Agnes Thompson. She asked a number of questions on the nature of spirit. The questions are, what does the spirit look like? What does God look like? And what happens to our spirits when we die?
See, the word spirit is rather confusing. I should better use the word soul. And soul cannot be seen, nor can God be seen, because the phenomena of seeing requires that your sight returns to your eyes after striking a hard surface, comparatively denser surface. If it doesn't return, then you do not see anything. So God has no dense surface at all, nor has spirit, or soul as I call it. So you can never see soul or God with your naked eyes. But you can visualize both according to their attributes. Soul has certain attributes mentioned in the Quran and many other books, and also God has so many attributes. When you consider an attribute of God, with the spiritual eye, you are seeing God. When you see that God is Rahman, is most beneficent, then you know what beneficence is. So with the same eye as from which you know what beneficence is, you know what God is. So this is how God's attributes tell what God is. And in the prayer, we are admonished by Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to concentrate on God's attributes. By those attributes will be introduced to God.
The last part of the question was, what happens to our souls when we die? After death, what happens to our souls?
I've already answered this question, because it depends on the soul of a good person or a soul of a bad person. Whatever we do to our souls here, we give birth to the same soul in the hereafter. Now it will be difficult for you to fully understand this until you realize that all the evil people so their expressions change as well. Look at their eyes, and they look sort of vacant of holiness or righteousness. Look at the eyes of the corrupt SHOs in Pakistan. There are many. There is no shortage of them. And you realize how terrible they look. They seem to be emptied of all piety. But when you look at a pious man, really pious, you may be deceived by apparent looks, but in reality, you can see him. If he is not a hypocrite, that's a different story. Only Allah knows a hypocrite what he is. But in most cases, that piety is written large on his face and his expressions. So here the soul is revealed in attributes, not in physical terms. Thank you. And this soul will go to heaven. This soul will either go to heaven or to hell. Now, this question just reminds me of a Russian joke, with due pardon from our Russian friends if they are sitting here, or if they hear it afterwards. it is said that a KGB man was watching over the head of someone who was reading Hebrew lessons. And he was an old man. So after a while he said, "What are you doing? Why are you learning Hebrew at this age?" He said, "You know, I have heard that the language in paradise would be Hebrew. So I'm preparing myself for that language, for that possibility of going to heaven." He said, "If you go to hell instead," he said, "I know Russian as well." Don't you worry. Come on, next question, please.